Yeah, hi everyone, and welcome to GIT 211. GIT 211 is the introduction to video game art, 2D and 3D, both of it. Half the class is 2D, the second half is on the 3D part. That's what it gets down to it, nothing more. It is a class that requires a lot of work. It's not a class where you could just hang out and so. It's a fast-paced class, especially if you take it online, which you are. Alright? So, what are we going to do in this class? It's very simple. First of all, you need to watch the introduction video for the administration of the class. That shows you the shell and what's going on and so forth. That's very, very important. Well, week one, first week, you are going to jump straight up into classic pixel art. The original game art, 2D. Alright, so we're gonna learn classic pixel art, and your first project will be to create a classic pixel art character. Actually, your first project will be to create a small game document, a very small one. But I don't really call it a project because we do art. We need to have the game doc so we can do the art that follows up on that game doc. So the game doc is like a research paper. So you'll have a small research paper, the game doc, right away. It's very small, and I'll go through that. Make sure you look at the game doc video. And then after that, you will do project one, as I just said, which is to create the main character of that game document using classic pixel art technique that you just learned in the class. Doesn't get deeper than that. Then, second week, we are gonna jump straight up into creating backgrounds for that little video game doc you created, and you are going to create complete skies, complete playfield, background and foreground using seamless tiles. So you're going to learn first seamless texturing and how to create patterns using Photoshop, and then you are going to create, using those seamless texture, some seamless tiles for your game, for the sky, foreground, background, playfield. It's that easy. All right, you'll follow the specification of project 2, basically, and then that gets us to week 3. In week 3, you are going to customize your level that you just created with the tiles. You're going to customize it by using a set of decals. So make sure you watch the video or read, there's both, all right, lectures on decals at that point. All right, so that's 3 weeks, and by the end of 3 weeks, you have a complete level done. All right, and you'll have with background, foreground, playfield, decals for bonuses and platforms, and your main character also at the beginning of the level. Everything needs to be tiled in a small video game 2D editor that is posted on the shell and that has lectures that explain how to use it. So it's very important. It's a very simple one, but it's very important that you do that so your art is formatted properly and will run in an engine, in a video game engine, obviously. Okay? So that would be the end of our 2D modules, basically. Now we're going to jump in week 4, and in week 4 you're going to start 3D. So in week 4 you're going to start using Maya from Autodesk. All right, it's a 3D software that's very powerful. I will show you very simply how to use it to model an object for video game. We will model a simple object, all right, so that would be your project 4, but that simple object will follow the rules that are very strict for video games, for 3D video games, obviously. Now you get to week 5, and in week 5, we're going to take that object that we've done in Maya, and we're going to learn now how to use Maya and texture that object. Apply a texture, a color map to it, as we say in the game industry, and learn also a couple other maps that are really much used in the game industry. At that point, after you textured it, you should have a nice object that should fit in the video game, and that would be, the texturing would be, and the unwrapping would be project 5. It's that simple. Now, in the 6th week, you are going to basically animate that object you created in 3D. So now we're going into animation and the 12 principles of animation, and also the principle of animation for video games that are very strict. And you will take that object that you've modeled and then textured. You're going to take that object on the 6th week and you're going to animate it. It's that simple. Just animate it. Alright? Now, by the end, you have a complete object that has been modeled, textured, and animated, and that fits in a game. It doesn't get deeper than that. So you'll have two really nice pieces for your portfolio, a 2D one with the simple games, and the 3D objects that will demonstrate your skills in 3D for video game. It doesn't get deeper than that. On the 7th week, and the couple days we have, you will just take your final test. The final test is very important as it pinpoints exactly vocabulary, skills, and knowledge used in your industry. And you need to know that. That's very important. So you can talk of the same thing with your colleagues, basically. All right? That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, general questions, go on the forum. What's the due date? And so forth. I don't know how to do that, and so forth. Personal questions. I'm sick, something happened to me, it's personal, really personal. Your own grade, for example, I don't agree with my grade, you contact me directly with email. Okay? It is important to note, you do not send me your work through emails unless I've asked you so. The work we do is pretty big in size. If all my students send me their work through emails, my email will shut down, basically. Alright? So if you want me to see your work, very simple. Simply upload it to the forum and then email me a link and say, hey Arno, there's the link on the forum of my work. I don't know to do that, or I'd like some advice, and I'll do it right away. But by simply posting it on the forum, you most likely won't even have to email me. Everything that is, I check forum 20 times a day. Alright? So as soon as there's a question, most likely, besides at night when I sleep, obviously, I'm in Arizona, I answer right away. So if you post your work, I will answer right away and say, hey, I like that, I like this, and so forth. Alright, you guys? So like that, you can change it. But if I have an answer, you just email me. You say, I don't know, can you check it out? That's pretty much it, everyone. I hope you have some fun. This is a very fun class, but this is a challenging class. It requires a lot of work because you're learning new things and a new software, Maya. By the way, after you know Maya, after this class, you'll know Maya. This is a huge thing on your resume. Not too many people know 3D and can use Maya. This is a very hard software, and this is a really, really good skill to have. It will bring your salary up one level. So hey, I'll see you in class, have some fun, don't hesitate to ask questions. And one more thing, don't jump weeks. When we're in week 1, do work for week 1. When week 2, do work for week 2. I do not want students to go forward in advance. That's very important to me too. Okay? And no group work, no plagiarism. Plagiarism, and I check mesh, because they exist on the internet and I can check, even in 3D. Plagiarism, I will file a report and send it upstairs. Alright? Beside that, have fun, you guys. Again, I'll see you in class on the forum.